Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk About Bees, our first live stream. So, remember, if you have any questions and comments about bee products, just let me know on the chat box. Okay, today we'll be discussing bee products in general and our HummingBee Bee products in specific. So just drop your questions at any time and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay, let's begin with the first product that I'm going to describe, which is bee pollen. So, bee pollen, it is a product that is collected by bees from flowers. And if you're not familiar with that, it is these types of granules. So it is multicolor granules, and bee pollen is collected by bees from flowers. And bees collect bee pollen because it is the only nutrient source that they have. Sorry, because they also collect um, from flowers, they collect nectar, which is the one that is converted into honey. But uh, nectar and honey only provide energy to bees. For all other nutrients, bees rely on bee pollen. So bee pollen is very rich in nutrients, and that is very good news for us humans because we can take advantage of those nutrients as well. So bee pollen is very rich in proteins. It is around 30% proteins, and those proteins are very high quality because it contains all essential amino acids. Also, um, bee pollen contains also it is plant-based protein or product because although it is collected by bees, they collect it from flowers and they do a minimal transformation to that product. Also, bee pollen is very rich in vitamins and minerals, but something really interesting about bee pollen that is very interesting for immune support is that it contains around 18 different antioxidants. And one of those antioxidants is of special interest because it's an antioxidant called myricetin, and that myricetin is the one responsible for helping with seasonal allergies. So, if you suffer from seasonal allergies, the regular consumption of bee pollen might help with the controlling those symptoms. Um, So bee pollen also contains a fiber, both soluble and insoluble, and it helps with digestive issues as well. This specific product is dehydrated bee pollen. And one of the questions that I usually get about the dehydration process is that if it doesn't destroy the nutrients inside of the bee pollen. And the answer to that is that if the process is not done correctly, it might destroy the nutrients inside, especially vitamins that are the ones that are most heat sensitive. But with our product, we dehydrate our bee pollen at a very low temperature for a very long time. And so we keep intact all the nutrients inside of the bee pollen. We just get rid of the moisture. And we do that process, the drying process, because fresh bee pollen, which is the one that is collected straight from the hives, is very rich in moisture. It has a high moisture content, and so it can start growing mold over time if you keep it at room temperature. So any product that gets molded, it is not edible anymore. So to avoid those issues, we dehydrate our bee pollen. Um, so that's it. About the information about bee pollen. Remember that is very good for immune support, especially for seasonal allergies, because it contains 18 different antioxidants, And one of them, called myricetin, is the one that is responsible for reducing the symptoms of seasonal allergies. So that's it for bee pollen. Okay, let's talk about propolis now. So propolis is a product that is also collected by bees, but this time around they collect it not from flowers. They collect it from trunks of some types of trees or some of new buds in some types of shrubs. It is a resin, and bees collect it because it is a kind of a natural glue that they can use inside of the hive to glue together different parts of the hive or reduce entrances or seal crevices. But a positive side effect for bees is that it has some antibacterial properties, and for that reason, it helps to keep a healthy environment inside of the hive. Luckily for us humans, we can take advantage of those health benefits as well. Now, raw propolis is not edible as it is the honey or the bee pollen. We beekeepers, we have to make a process with it. We have to extract all the good stuff that is inside of that resin in order to be edible. So we use either grain alcohol or water or even both to extract all the good stuff inside of the propolis, and that way we can make an extract that is now consumable. Now that extract is very strong, and you will have to dilute it further in water in order to be consumed. Now, for that reason and for this specific product, that this is a ready-to-use product, we mix it with honey and lemon peel oil. So this specific product is a ready-to-use propolis. It's a mouth spray or a throat spray that will help to keep your immune system strong. Now, this specific propolis is green propolis, and there's basically three types of propolis around the world. The first one is brown propolis, that is pretty much common, or you can find it pretty much anywhere in the world, or bees can collect it pretty much anywhere in the world. But green propolis that is inside this product, or red propolis, are only found in Brazil. In two separate regions in Brazil, you find green propolis or red propolis. And those two types of propolis are very famous for having higher amounts of antioxidants than brown propolis. So, for that reason, we use green bee propolis in our throat spray. It is very good for immune support because the antioxidants, especially from a family of chemicals or natural occurring chemicals called flavonoids, that are very powerful antioxidants. Okay, guys, that's it about propolis. Okay, now let's talk about our beeswax lip balm. This beeswax lip balm is very nice because it comes in this box, and each box contains 4 of these tubes. It is beeswax based, but it also contains honey and vitamin E for a very long lasting moisturizing effect. And it also contains other ingredients, but all the ingredients are 100% organic, natural ingredients. So you can be sure that there's no nasty chemicals inside of this lip balm. Yeah, and because of that, this lip balm can be used by women and men alike because it won't give off any unwanted scents or flavors in your mouth, or it won't leave any shiny or glossy effect on your lips. It is very neutral, and it will just keep your lips protected and moisturized. So that's it for our beeswax lip balm. Okay, guys. And last but not least, our roasted whole coffee beans. So this product, it is 100% organic certified by the USDA. and it is produced by a co-op of coffee growers that are also beekeepers, and so this coffee is bee pollinated. We keep it as whole beans for a couple of reasons. The first one is that as soon as any coffee is ground, that ground coffee will start to give off or lose its flavors and aromas. And that's what you want when you brew your coffee, but not weeks prior, because the coffee grounds will start to give off those flavors and aromas. And by the time that you brew your coffee, that coffee might have lost its flavor profile, or the original flavor profile that the coffee grower intended. So that's the reason for which we keep it as swell beans, because we trap all the good stuff, all the good flavors and aromas inside of the beans, and they will be just released when you decide to brew your coffee. Now, the second reason for which we keep it as swell beans is because depending on the brewing method that you prefer, um, you will decide on the grind size of the coffee. For example, if you use a French press, you will grind your coffee coarser. But if you use Chemex, a machine, or a dripping method, you will grind your coffee finer. So you're the one in control of the grind size of your coffee. Um, as I mentioned, this coffee is produced by a co-op of coffee growers that are also beekeepers, and so this coffee is bee pollinated. Okay, guys, so that's it for our coffee. Okay, guys, if you don't have questions for me today, just make sure that when you watch this live, you can still leave your comments and questions on the chat box or on the comment section, and I'll answer your questions afterwards. So for now, thank you very much for attending this YouTube live, and hope to see you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.